In 1995, during a trip to Seattle, something unexpected happened. I had my first contact with the internet. Until then, I had never seen a computer in my life. It was a moment of fascination, something that completely changed my perception of the future. My friend asked me to look something up online, and I decided to search for beer. To my surprise, there was a lot of information about American beers, but nothing about Chinese beers. At that moment, I realized the immense potential of the internet to connect China to the world, an opportunity that no one else was seeing. The truth is that opportunity doesn't always appear in the way we imagine. I didn't know how big the internet would become. I didn't even imagine that it would lead to the birth of Alibaba. All I knew was that there was a gap, an empty space where China wasn't represented online, and I wanted to fill that space. Sometimes the best ideas come from the most unexpected moments when no one else is looking in the same direction as you. The key is knowing how to recognize these opportunities when they appear. What makes innovation so powerful is the ability to see what others can't yet see. When I looked at the internet, I saw a tool that could change the world, and that's exactly what happened. From that moment on, my life changed. I knew I needed to bring this new technology to China, and that it would create a wave of transformation that would touch millions of lives. The opportunity was born out of simple research, but the impact was immeasurable. When I started Alibaba, it was just a small idea in an emerging market. I had no idea that one day we would become a global e-commerce giant. However, there was one thing I always kept in mind: the need to constantly innovate. What starts small can grow into something big. But that only happens when we are willing to step out of our comfort zone and think outside the box.
The habit of relentless learning also builds confidence, paradoxically, by embracing uncertainty. When you expose yourself to new ideas and acquire new skills regularly, you expand your capabilities. You become more resourceful. You gain a toolkit to handle challenges with calm and competence. Confidence born from learning is not arrogance. It's a quiet assurance that you can figure things out no matter what. This habit is contagious. When you show others you care about growth, you inspire them to do the same. Leaders who practice curiosity create environments where innovation thrives. Teams that learn together adapt faster and perform better. And in personal relationships, a curious mind leads to deeper understanding and connection. Yet, relentless curiosity isn't about passive consumption. It's active and intentional. It means questioning what you read, verifying sources, testing ideas in the real world, and applying knowledge to improve yourself and your work. Learning without application is like a seed that never sprouts. It also means being selective. There's an overwhelming amount of information available today. Curiosity helps you cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. The knowledge that moves you forward. You learn not just for the sake of knowing, but for the sake of becoming better. Finally, this habit transforms setbacks into opportunities. When you fail or face criticism, a curious learner asks, "What can this teach me?" rather than, "Why me?" This shift in perspective changes failure from a defeat into a stepping stone. It fuels persistence and continuous improvement. Relentless curiosity and learning are the engines of long-term success. They keep you evolving in a world that never stops changing. They make you not just a better professional, but a richer, more vibrant human being. Always growing, always exploring, always becoming.
But dreaming big and taking that first step is just the beginning. The journey is never straightforward. As you move forward, obstacles will inevitably appear. For me, every challenge is a disguised opportunity. Throughout my early years, I faced rejection after rejection, failed university exams, more than 30 job rejections, but I never let those failures define me. Instead, they became my greatest teachers. Every no I received, every door that closed, I saw it as a valuable lesson, preparing me for the next step. Transforming obstacles into opportunities isn't about luck, but about having the right mindset. When Alibaba faced its first big crisis, many thought it was the end. But instead of giving up, I saw it as a chance to innovate, to grow. Every rejection I faced taught me something that I used to build what Alibaba is today. The question was never about avoiding problems, but learning how to overcome them. That's how we built something capable of competing globally, even when no one believed it was possible. I always say, if you want to catch your goal, no matter what rabbit you're chasing, don't try to change the rabbit. Change yourself. If you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit. Change yourself. This means that often the key to turning an obstacle into an opportunity is adjusting our own perspective and attitude. Instead of focusing on what we can't control, we should work on improving ourselves, developing new skills, and most importantly, staying focused on our end goal. The biggest mistake many make is thinking that problems signal the end of the road. In reality, they are just the beginning of a new phase of growth. When Alibaba was facing financial difficulties, I knew it wasn't the time to give up. It was the time to adjust our strategy and use adversity as fuel for innovation. Every obstacle forced us to think creatively, to find solutions where others saw only problems. And that, more than anything else, led us to success. Obstacles will never go away. They are part of every entrepreneur's life. The question you need to ask isn't, how do I avoid problems? But how can I use this to grow? The most valuable opportunities often come disguised as challenges. So, what will you do with the obstacles you're facing today? Will you let them block your path or use them as stepping stones to your next success?
You start to believe you can rely on you. That belief changes how you act, how you speak, how you show up in every area of life. Planning feels good. It gives a sense of control, clarity, and possibility. You make lists, set goals, draw up timelines, map out strategies, and visualize success. You imagine the future you want, and for a moment, it feels real. But there's a danger hidden in that comfort. The illusion that planning is progress. It's not. Execution is what moves the needle. Execution turns ideas into impact. And without it, all plans are just well-decorated dreams. Many people confuse being busy with being productive. They spend hours refining their goals, reading more articles, watching tutorials, or researching endlessly. These actions feel productive, but they delay the moment of action. Planning is safe. Execution is risky, because the moment you start doing, you expose yourself to failure, imperfection, judgment, and the unknown. That's why people hesitate. But growth never happens inside the planning phase. It only begins when you step into the doing. Every successful person understands this truth. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a bias for action. The world doesn't reward those who think the best. It rewards those who act the fastest and learn the fastest. While others are overthinking, overplanning, and hesitating, the executors are testing, building, learning, and adapting in real time. Ideas are everywhere. Execution is rare. How many people have had the same idea as Uber before Uber existed? Hundreds. How many of them acted on it? Maybe a few. How many executed it well? One. That's the difference. You can't cache ideas. You can't scale thoughts. Only actions build momentum, and only momentum creates results. The truth is, most plans fall apart the moment they meet reality. You plan based on assumptions. You imagine how things should work. But when you actually start doing, you see where the holes are. You uncover problems you couldn't have predicted. And that's not a failure. That's feedback. The faster you execute, the faster you get that feedback. And the faster you get feedback, the faster you improve. Execution creates information that planning never reveals. It teaches you about the market, your audience, your own discipline, your blind spots, and your strengths. It helps you understand timing, tools, tactics, and temperament. You gain wisdom that no book, course, or coach can give you. It comes only from the act of doing. You might fail, but you'll fail forward. Each action brings clarity. Each misstep sharpens your next move. And execution doesn't need to be massive. It just needs to start. One cold email, one prototype, one phone call, one video upload, one client conversation. Small steps done consistently will always outperform elaborate plans that never get off the ground.
Challenges are an inevitable part of life, but how you face them is what makes the difference. For some, challenges are obstacles that hold them back. For others, they are opportunities for growth. When we started Alibaba, we faced countless challenges: lack of funding, skepticism from others, and even the challenge of introducing a new technology in a country where many people didn't believe in the internet. But instead of seeing these challenges as setbacks, we saw them as opportunities to innovate and grow stronger. Adopting a mindset where every challenge becomes a learning experience changes the way you approach difficulties. Instead of being discouraged by obstacles, you start to see them as stepping stones toward your ultimate goal. This shift in perspective empowers you to keep moving forward no matter how tough things get. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to build resilience and sharpen your problem-solving skills. Challenges also push you out of your comfort zone. It's easy to stay in a safe place where everything is predictable, but real growth happens when you face uncertainty head-on. Every time you overcome a challenge, you expand your limits and gain more confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes next. That's why embracing challenges is so important. Without them, you can't grow into the person you're meant to be. I've seen this time and time again at Alibaba. Every major breakthrough came as a result of facing and overcoming a challenge. Whether it was finding a way to build trust in e-commerce in China or creating the infrastructure for a global marketplace, every obstacle we encountered helped us grow stronger and more innovative. Challenges are not to be feared. They are opportunities in disguise. So, the next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? By embracing challenges, you turn obstacles into opportunities. And that's where true success begins.